All right, welcome back. This is part 2
Hey,
of the show featuring DJ CJ and Ronaldo.
I'm back, guys. I was sleeping during the first one, but I had some more coffee and
You awake for this one now?
I'm awake. I'm
Good.
warmed up,
Good.
ready to go.
I drank my coffee, so I'm
Are you done?
Yeah, it's gone. You know.
I still have some more, so
Okay.
my tank is like
Half full.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like looking at the glass half
Half full.
full.
That's good. That's the way to look at it. Ronaldo still, or I'm sorry, not Ronaldo. Cabana Boy Roy is still on assignment in Guadalajara.
No, I think he went off to Guam now.
Oh, he's in Guam. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. He is on assignment in Guam. He's with the Guami Bears. I think is what they prefer.
Are they from Lake Titicaca or is that somewhere else?
No, Lake Titicaca is something else. Yeah, that's something else. Completely different place. Although the indigenous people of Lake Titicaca, well, we won't get into that this time.
But tell me about the Guami Bears. What's up with that?
Isn't that what they prefer? The Guami Bears? I don't know.
Bears.
No, it's so there's this. We're getting right into the show here now. You know, no introductions or anything like that. But so this back in the day, there's this old show.
You should have listened to episode 1.
Yeah, you gotta listen to episode 1 if you want anything. Yeah. So there's this old show called The Critic. You ever heard of it?
Hell no.
Funny show, animated. John Lovitz. I think it was on like ABC and maybe Fox at one point. Definitely on ABC though. And it featured John Lovitz as this film critic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
remember this.
See?
I never watched it.
Yeah.
But I do remember it's a cartoon.
Yeah. And then so the person that ran the studio where the thing was being filmed was this guy called Duke Phillips, and he's just like the Southern guy who they kind of presented as kind of a Southern dolt, pretty much an idiot. But
Like Texas or something?
yeah, I guess
Alabama.
probably that kind of area. I'm sure it came up in the show where he was from, but he was like basically this guy with that Southern drawl, that he but didn't really know a lot. I mean his it was a broadcasting company that before that it was Duke Phillips House of Chicken or something like that. And he changed that into a broadcasting company.
Hey.
To each their own.
Yeah.
So this guy, they're talking about Guam, and he's like, what do they call people from Guam anyway? Like Guami Bears? So that's where that comes from. I'd love to give myself...
Here I am thinking you opened up a book.
Yeah, I would love to give myself credit for coming up with Guami Bears, and hopefully there's no one in Guam listening right now. They're like, how dare he? Oh well.
You can come visit, because I don't know anybody from Guam.
I don't either, honestly. Yeah, if you guys want to visit the show, we'd love to have you. We'd love to have someone from Guam on to tell us how do you pronounce a person from Guam. What is the preferred nomenclature?
Well, Cabana Boy Roy is over there.
Yeah,
You think he'll find out?
he might. I mean, he might not ask.
I don't know how to get in contact with him.
I don't either.
'Cause we don't.
I don't know if they have service over there, and I really don't. If he's roaming, I don't want him to have to pay. I feel bad about that. And when people are in other countries, don't you feel bad about having to
That you're calling them and
you don't
pretty
know
much making them pay.
Yeah, you don't know if they have to pay extra for roaming. You don't know what time it is. It's like it's noon here and it might be like 3 a.m. over there. You don't want to mess with that.
Poor guy.
Yeah, so when people are in other countries, I'm just like, you know what? You call me.
You don't exist.
Yeah, you don't exist. You want to call me, you can call me. I don't care if you wake me up at 3 a.m. I'm just whatever. But if you're in another country, yeah, you pretty much don't exist.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
Yep.
We got DJ CJ and Ronaldo on the show, starting it off on fire today.
There you go.
So here in part 2, let's continue a little bit more about the genesis of the show. Basically, there's working at Bose during our free time, we were able to just kind of, shoot the shit, as it were, talking about just random things. And we always said, like, we're going to do this. We're going to get a podcast going. We're going to have a radio show. And it was just like one of those things where I think normally with a lot of people, it's just like, it never gets done. It's just like, oh, that's a great idea. And then you forget about it the next day.
And people would add to it like, oh, that could be in it. And
Yeah.
I know we would both come up with things like, that could be in the show.
Yeah.
And this could be a part of it too.
Right.
And then it's not until like we're meeting up.
And it built upon itself. And, unfortunately, we never wrote any of that down. So we're kind of just going off kilter here,
But we're boss like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the way it is.
look at it.
Yeah. And so that's the way it is. But
Getting back to it, the genesis of the show.
Yeah, genesis of the show.
So do you think that? I mean, if I can ask,
yeah,
it takes something to actually make it materialize, right?
Yeah.
But you said it. Oh, you were talking about how there's too many people, things don't get done.
Yeah. So when you have, all these great ideas and everyone's like, that's a great idea, and then, no one runs with it. It takes someone to run with it for it to materialize. And that's why it's materializing now, because I was just like, you know what, it's a great idea and I'm running with it. And honestly, I'd have to say the big reason of why it's really materializing now, or at least starting to, and who knows if it'll ever get anywhere, we'll put the stuff on, a home, we'll find a home for it, but maybe someone somewhere will listen to it and enjoy it. I mean, if one person hears this and enjoys it and was like, oh, that's a good show, I feel like I've done my job, because I'm having fun. I have fun making these myself. I have fun with Ronaldo doing the show. This is a good time.
I mean, I personally have, I make music and I have microphones. And,
yeah.
And when you were talking about podcasts, that was something that, not that I would look forward to it, but whenever it popped up, and it's like, oh, hey, this is cool.
Right.
I could totally imagine us in a booth kind of doing what we're doing.
Exactly.
But not really until now we're here.
Yeah.
And it's completely different.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not in some awesome studio.
Right. We're in the home studio.
We're in a home studio. We're in a room.
But it feels, the setup, we're set up in here, you guys can't really see it, unfortunately, but it feels like this is a podcast. I almost feel like you're the host here and you're like interviewing me, and of course, I guess I feel that way because I keep talking.
But we could always switch it up.
Yeah.
I could keep talking more.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Because when we were at Bose, we're facing the
front
entrance.
Door.
Yeah. Yeah. And we see people go by. There's a lot of material that happens, whether
right.
customers comes in or Claudine
yeah.
walks by.
Or, the wild card J-Dog.
Every once in a while, and Cabana Boy Roy.
Cabana Boy Roy, yeah.
So.
Cabana Boy Roy was really, he worked on his tan a lot, I think. He had the little metal thing, that you put up against your face, and he was just basking in the glow.
I imagine just two women next to him with the leaves, the palm tree leaves.
Yeah, and he has the little metal thing to reflect the sunlight.
Sunglasses.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember or not, but
that's what he's doing in Guam.
That's his assignment, quote unquote.
His tan.
Yeah, because how about this weather? It is raining, and it's been raining at least once a week. And this is Southern California. It never rains.
Dude, it's like we don't get snow here. We get rain.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's raining outside.
Yeah. People take off from work, go play in the rain, throw rain balls.
Yep. And then be careful not to slip out there.
Yeah, be careful. Especially because, people in California, they don't know how to drive in the rain,
No.
So.
People don't know how to dress in the rain either.
Yeah, they don't know how to drive, period. But that's another story. I'm alienating our entire audience.
You don't know how to drive.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, of course.
Yeah, I know how to drive.
I took, courses.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I drove in New Jersey. People there are crazy. At least we know how to drive. Anyway, at least it's not...
The New Jersey complex.
Yeah, right. I think...
Dude, that would be a dope name for the show.
The New Jersey complex.
Or something. Something.
Well, when we talk about things I'll talk about, that'll be the show where I talk about things from New Jersey. You come up with a bunch of questions about New Jersey and I'll answer them,
Yeah.
Things like, it's like, is the Jersey Shore really like New Jersey? No, that's not like people from New Jersey. The Jersey, I'm people since the Jersey Shore.
Dude, TV's not real.
Yeah. People have come out and debunked the Jersey Shore as being just complete reality bullcrap, so. That is what it is. But anyway,
later on.
Yeah, we'll get into that in another episode. See, we got material. We got this.
This is good. Yeah.
We don't have to write it down. We just have to listen to the old episodes. What were we talking about? What was that thing? Listen to episode 1. Listen to episode 2.
Just don't lose it like your taxes or whatever.
Yeah, right. You can't lose the files. We'll put them in the OneDrive, and then they'll be free for everyone to see
on the cloud.
Yeah,
forever.
Exactly. Forever, literally forever. Someone will come out at 700 years later and what's this file? And we'll become pop stars 700 years in the future.
Amazing.
Right?
Amazing.
That's possible.
That. Yes. We can start a legend today.
Yeah, that's right. Going back to the to talking about the Genesis and stuff like that. Actually, just talking about Bose in general. That store in Fashion Valley. Now, I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but I'm sure you have. You had to have. But in the mornings, especially, it's really bad. You're looking out that door, with the customers to come by, and straight ahead is a white wall.
Yes.
Right? And when the sun comes up,
yes,
it shines right on that wall, and it gives you like the worst case of like sun blindness ever.
It does.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I especially notice it when it's cloudy.
Yeah.
And then it's not cloudy.
Yeah.
So it goes, and then it comes back.
Yeah, and it's just like, wow, I did not realize that I'm just getting this like just blasted with like white light in my eyes, and I usually don't even notice until I look away and I see all those spots, and I'm like, wow, I need to not look at that.
A little too late.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the back for a few minutes here.
Calm my eyes.
Yeah, right.
Dude, they've been running demos on the front systems, right?
Yeah.
But we crank it up.
Yeah.
So now not only do I have the blinding light, but now my ears are also blasted with like high decibels of random sound effects.
And I know Ronaldo was always a little bit sensitive to that, I think.
To what?
To the noise, right?
Was I?
Yeah, I mean, I remember a lot of times, we would listen to Pandora stations there, and it would be like
sensitive.
Yeah, it would be like sensitive. That mellow, like smooth jazz kind of music. No lyrics or anything like that. It's just like I could tell when like you just had enough of the music, and you're just like, okay, we need something relaxing, something that's still kind of upbeat, but not that's going to give you like all this.
No, I'm saying like that. It's called word pollution.
Yeah,
it pollutes your brain, and I was in a very trying to be very conscious of what I'm consuming, like subconsciously as well.
Right.
But I'm seem to actually get over that.
Okay.
Now I can filter it out.
Yeah.
Say,
that's
what? I don't.
That's the key.
Hear that.
Yeah, that's the key. You just gotta filter things out and don't even listen to them.
In some ways, like working at this store has also improved my
filter.
My filter. Yeah. I've worked on meditation as well.
Really?
Yeah. Which helps.
What kind of meditation is it? Like that Om kind of thing, or just like
I don't do the Om.
Yeah,
but I do sit in silence.
Oh, okay.
Whenever I need a breather.
Yeah.
I have a backyard.
Okay. Nice.
And
it's always good to have a backyard.
It's always
just
good.
Like
if not, enjoy. A park also works.
Yeah.
Park works wonders because you're just sitting there. You're feeling the breeze. It's a very cathartic. What I do is just Well, no, not necessarily, but it's. I feel the air on my, my face, right. the kind of the sun going in and out, like just like,
right,
like that blinding light.
That blinding light.
Close my
comes
eyes
back
and
to
listen to the wind.
I'm surprised that park. I feel like that there would be a lot of people around. It'd be hard to concentrate on like the self at that point.
I've never seen a lot of people at a park.
Really?
Unless it's a Sunday barbecue type thing. Okay. Then there's tons of people.
I'm always thinking like when I think park in my head, I think like people out walking their dogs, lots of people around. I'm always imagining like never imagining being able to be alone in a park.
Oh no, you're never alone.
Yeah.
Even when you are.
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
that's a life nugget right there. Life nugget number 2 on the show.
It's golden stuff.
Yeah, even when you're alone, you're not alone.
I mean, you can be alone and not be lonely.
Right. It's true. Yeah. DJ CJ and Ronaldo on the show. Talking about
we need some music.
Yeah, well maybe we can intersperse some stuff in here, I don't know. Like if we ever just like cut short, we're just like, I can't think of anything else to say, we'd be like, and let's give you some music here. Then the problem with music is like I was talking about in the last episode is that, the attribution, you can only get a lot of the stuff, that you can find would be like public domain or things like that,
Which is fine if we only use it as a transition. I mean,
that's true.
We don't need to blast the whole like 2-3 minutes of the song. We can do a little transition.
Yeah, maybe if we get to a point where we're running commercial breaks, we can have transitions.
But
like
I mean, at 30 minutes at a time, I don't know if we'll.
Yeah.
Unless we do like a 15-minute mark, boom, break.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way of doing it. It's breaking at like 15 minutes, if there's a situation where we're in a place where we're running commercial. But then again, who knows when the commercials are going to come in, if
you're the play-by-play though.
Yeah.
I'm just the colored guy.
We'll figure it out. I mean, I've got actually, I mean, I'm like, I've got so much experience in editing. I've got a little bit of experience in video editing. And
what is your background?
So, and then that actually brings me into something I was talking about in part 1 with remember the monetization thing where other people can monetize your videos?
Yeah.
So I a while ago so there's this I don't know if you remember a cartoon from like the 80s called Heathcliff.
Was that a dog?
It was a cat.
That was Clifford.
Yeah, Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yeah.
Heathcliff was an orange cat getting into trouble. He's like
not to be
causing antics and things.
Not Garfield.
No, Garfield, different cat.
Wow.
Heathcliff was a different than Garfield, but same era. Both like I think they were both like orange kind of cats. Different cats though.
What made Heathcliff?
Heathcliff got into trouble. I mean that was the whole theme song was like just completely explained everything. Is like Heathcliff, no one should terrorize the neighborhood. Beautiful singing. I think it was something like that. But he basically, he terrorized the neighborhood. He was going around. I think the intro showed him like stealing fish from the fish market. He was always messing with people.
He was a cat.
Yeah, he was a cat, and he's a cool cat. He's just messing with people. So then this brings me into the other. There's Heathcliff, which was like the main show, the big show, and then there was kind of like a secondary show called Cats and Company, and it was like these 4 cats in a junkyard. And there was the junkyard dog, and he was the what I guess they call it a comedic foil or whatever, he was the one, or maybe they were his comedic foil,
comedic relief. Yeah.
But in any case, they were always trying to like do schemes, and he was always trying to stop them and this and that. And
that's an antagonist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 4 cats, and then there was the one main cat, and he had like little girlfriend, so it's actually 5 cats really, but the main show was centered around the 4 of them. I don't remember all their names, but not really important.
Not important.
Yeah. Anyway, so Cats and Company. And so what I found out, I was like watching the on YouTube, like not necessarily. I was watching. You know what I was watching? I was watching old theme songs.
You were just up some night saying,
and
I have nothing to do right now.
Yeah, I want to listen to some old theme songs. And so I listened to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song,
Badass
Heathcliff,
theme song.
all these themes. Interesting thing. You ever watched the show 2.5 Men?
Yes.
Yeah, the creator of the show,
Chuck
Lorre. Yeah.
Lorre.
Or Lore. I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
Lorre.
Yeah, I thought it was Lorre, but maybe it's Lore. I don't know.
Make up your own mind.
Yeah. He actually, I forget if he performed it, but he at least created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme song.
Just had something to do with it.
Yeah. And it might actually be him performing it too.
Oh. Wow.
It might be him singing. I'm not positive. We'll have to fact check that.
We need a fact checker.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we need to get that on there. So yeah, he created in one way or another the theme song. So interesting little tidbit there. I think he also did Mike and Molly. He's a big TV guy though.
He was a writer.
Yeah,
I guess he was producing songs at some point.
Yeah, like early.
Cool. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, a neat little tidbit.
Yeah.
So anyway, I was just like listening to theme songs. Then I got obsessed with like the Heathcliff theme song, and then I found that there was the Cats and Company side show. At some point, got released onto home theater, home video, like VHS back in the day, as its own thing, and it had its own theme song, and so it was.
Wait, was that? Is that you lost me? Is this a spin-off of the show?
So kind of.
Because Heathcliff was that the main character.
So Heathcliff was like the same universe, but in 2 different places. So so there's like, imagine like a town, right? And Heathcliff
is all within one show though.
Yeah, well, kind of. It was like 2 separate shows in a way.
Okay.
So imagine you're watching the episode of Heathcliff.
Okay.
Right, and it's all branded. When I watched it as a kid, it was all branded under Heathcliff. Okay. It's the Heathcliff show. And, you would see Heathcliff running his terrorizing around the neighborhood, right? And then it would go to the next episode. They were maybe like 15-minute episodes or something like that. And to fill a 30-minute block, you would have an episode of Cats and Company, like a 15-minute episode of that. Or maybe it was 7-minute. I don't forget how long they were. But anyway, then they would have that. And so that took place in the junkyard of the same town. And so I'm sure it crossed over at some point, but it was like 2 separate stories, 2 things going on kind of like at the same time. You got Heathcliff going on over here, and you got
doing the shenanigans.
Yeah, and then you got Cats and Company doing their shenanigans over here.
Got it.
Yeah, and so the the way it worked is apparently they had their own theme song, not like because they went under the Heathcliff show thing, and it was just the Heathcliff theme song. But when they released on home theater, they got their own theme song. Home video. They got their own theme song.
The Junkyard.
Yeah. And so it was like, cats and company have fun, playing pranks on everyone, new adventures every day. The cats will always get their way. Something like that.
You really listen to those songs.
Yeah, I mean it was addictive, and I'm not doing any justice to how addictive these songs are.
Don't relapse, please.
Yeah, no, I will not. But I just had to kind of give an idea of the difference in the songs, and they were, but the bulk of the song was pretty similar. So anyway, what I did was I saw that, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make my own entrance video or theme video for that song. So the song exists, but it would always just run over the Heathcliff video. You know what I mean?
That's confusing.
Yeah, it is. It's because it was just run on home video, and so they just took the Heathcliff video, what you would normally see when Heathcliff came on.
The intro for Heathcliff.
Yeah, and they just put the music over that.
Whack.
Yeah. And so what I did is I went and I pulled the song out of that. So I had the audio file of the music. And then what I did is I went and I left some of the parts intact because some parts of the Heathcliff intro had, Cats and Company.
Yeah.
It had that in there because, they were both under that Heathcliff banner, so there were bits and pieces of that. And so what I had to do then is not only did I have to sparse in and cut out, I should say, Heathcliff from that, but I had to go and I had to find episodes of Cats and Company video from that to cut into it.
Wow.
And on top of that, at certain points there's like sound effects.
Yeah.
So for example, there's Heathcliff, right? And there's a scene where he lights a rocket and sends this dog like flying off into the sky, because he's playing a prank on the dog.
An asshole. Yeah,
because Heathcliff really is an asshole, honestly. And so he does that. And then I've got this sound effect of and so what I do is I find this episode where the main character, and there's a junkyard dog who he's playing the pranks on. Mm-hmm. He jumps on a plank, right, and it sends the dog flying up in the air. And so the sound of him rocketing it up in the air after he's ricocheted up from this like seesaw kind of thing, he's flying up in the air, and that's how I use the sound.
Wow.
So
you created your own.
I made my own intro into this show, and it took me a while.
Fan made.
Yeah, and I mean it. To this day, it's my most viewed video on my thing. It's got
check that out.
Probably almost 6,000 views at this point. Maybe like 5,500 views.
Gee.
I mean, that pales in comparison to things like these music videos that get millions of views. But I mean, for just some guy making this little video, just a fan-made video, just because I wanted to sit down and do it. It took me a couple weeks
just for the sake of saying this doesn't exist.
I'm going to make it. Yeah, and it's I think I got like 35 thumbs up or something like that. Pretty. And there's always that one hater. There's always one person on like any YouTube video, no matter how many thumbs up. There's always one person thumbs down.
That was me.
Yeah, that was Ronaldo.
No. No.
Yeah. So sorry I dominated this, but
no, whatever. I mean, it's a show.
But yeah, then I was just talking about that, and then
but you were talking about monetization. Yeah.
And so I left it on there, and I never monetized it. I just don't think I did. I don't think I ever tried to monetize it.
Like putting ads.
In there and YouTube does that automatically. I forget it. I may or may not have. I don't remember if I tried to ever monetize it or not. But I came back. I made that like probably maybe 6 years ago at this point, and I went back to it maybe a year ago, and I was looking at my channel, and this is probably right around the time that I started putting like videos up on there, and I started to kind of get myself back into it, and I was looking at my YouTube channel, and I see like, I was looking at my the video manager thing. It says like, these little things, and I made a couple other videos too, just little brief little things. And a bunch of them said like includes copyrighted content, and I was like, oh crap, like do I have like a
bunch of them?
Yeah, there's like I had like maybe 5 or 6 videos up there, maybe 7 videos, and out of that, maybe out of 7 videos, 5 of them had copyright infringement things on them. I was like, oh shit, and and so I go and I look at them. Yeah. So I go and I look at them, and I'm just like, let's see. Like, a lot of them had very few views, like maybe 100 or less or so. And the Cats and Company one had like 5,000 views. I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Right.
But I went and looked. It was. I was like worried. I thought it was going to be like a strike against me, or something like that. Like the video had gotten taken down. But what had happened was, I guess the clips that I had used were from some like broadcasting company, and the broadcasting company, I guess, was able to somehow prove that they were clips from
those specific clips.
Yeah, were from their broadcasting show, or maybe it was maybe it was like a subsidiary company. I thought I remember looking it up and seeing it was like a Canadian company.
Now, did you get an email, or was it?
No emails or anything like that. It was just, I went into my account and I just saw that there's these things here. And so I think it was some like Canadian broadcasting company or something like that. And that must have been like the television station that broadcast the episodes, and they made a copyright claim on it. Something along those lines. They could have also owned the rights to Heathcliff too. I don't know. I never really went too far into it.
Yeah.
I think just
where we need the law knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. We're with the firm, Ronaldo and DJ CJ on the firm. But no, I didn't get too far into it, but basically, they had claimed against it. And so the ones that had very few views, I just deleted those because I was like, I don't want, because when I looked into it, they were monetizing my videos, and I was like, screw that, I'm deleting all these. But the one that had 5,000 views, I was like, well, that's kind of gotten, some popularity, and it's, people were actually looking at it and enjoying it, so I was like, I don't want to take that away from people. So I was just like, you know what, this was created, and even though I edited it out and made this kind of almost remix of it, it really is someone else's intellectual property, so I was just like, fine, I don't have a problem with you making money off of it. No problem at all. And which is interesting, we get back to that, the free music thing.
Would you like to have credit for it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have credit for it, it's on
your site.
Yeah, it's on my YouTube channel. I'm sure, and it's very possible that, once they noticed it and noticed how popular it was, they might have linked to it and saying like, hey, check this. And that might have been why it got as popular as it did, because it was noticed that it was being infringed upon, and so they made a claim against it. And but this is small time though. I mean, this is like a video that has like 5,000 views. That's small time when you talk about YouTube. But this company somehow found it, and that's what it blows me away, is that they found it,
even if it's small.
Yeah, small. 5,000 views. I mean, relatively speaking for YouTube, when you're talking about videos on there that get like millions of views, 5,000 views, that's such small time. And honestly, that's the thing that surprised me the most, is that they found it.
Wow.
But I don't care. For me, it's just like, go ahead, make money off of it. I made that art, and that's what I was saying about these people that, musicians, the Free Music Archive, someone uses it on their thing and they're making money off of it. You should just be proud. You should be like, you know what? I made that and I'm happy. The only thing that I think that needs to be done is the attribution.
Give credit where credit is due.
Say like, hey, this person made this song, and I'm going to give that attribution to them. So that's where I think. It's like, look, people know that I made that because it's on my channel. I don't care if someone else makes money off of it. I made this, and a lot of people enjoyed it. So proud of that.
This is where we're at a little.
Yeah. Golfers clap.
Thank you.
Yes. So,
that was a good story. That's a great story.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
In the end, what would you say
to
that company?
To the company, I say thank you. If it was, well, let me phrase this. If it was them, if it was a result of them noticing this and making that claim on it, they got it more popular, I'd say thank you.
Right.
Yeah, thank you for, bringing this up to a level where more people. Now, if it was just like, hey, we're going to capitalize on their popularity, you're kind of dicks, but, whatever. It's your right. You own that stuff. It's your right to, to make money off of it.
It's like it's just royalties.
Yeah.
They have the royalties.
Yeah. And so, and going back to like the free music thing, if I used, for example, like if I used someone else's music and they came and took like a monetary claim on it, I'd be fine. It's your music.
They own it.
Yeah, your money. I just put it into my creative thing. You make, the money off of it. I don't care. I'm more interested in getting my art out there and you should be too.
Your own.
Yeah.
Got
it. And so that's just the way I feel about that sort of material now. And now here's the other thing is that I don't know when that copyright claim came in. I mean, I could have had like 5,000 views.
See, I think you would get noticed or something.
Yeah.
Here's an email. Here's
no notification.
Sort of indication. Yeah.
Not that I noticed, at least. I mean, maybe you went to some email that I wasn't monitoring, or I don't know. But in any case, I could have gotten it at 5,000 views. That they could have capitalized on it then, and they might have only gotten monetized off of like one view. So
it's like, oh, even though he only has 3 views, like, bam, we're gonna monetize it.
Yeah, I don't
blows up.
See, I don't know at what point they monetized off of it. I don't know what point it was noticed. So wow. But in any case, to me, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. I'm just happy that from keeping you from doing other. Have you done other art?
No, not really. That was really the only thing where I did that. I started working on something else. Where I kind of like left it. I tried actually to voice over an entire Heathcliff episode with my own voice
as Heathcliff,
as all of the characters.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it got a little deranged at one point, but
I'm sure.
Yeah, and it was like maybe I think it's like a 10 to 15 minute episode they were, and I couldn't. I had it funny for maybe the first 5 minutes, but then it kind of just went off, and I just. I was trying to do too much with it. And I think maybe at some point I'll release that first 5 minutes as a video, and
dude,
people can enjoy
like
it.
3 to 5 minutes. That's good. That's material right there.
Yeah. So maybe someday, but yeah, I tried editing that out. But yeah, I've always had a lot of fun trying to like edit those things together and create that sort of stuff. I haven't done a lot of that in a while, but because I haven't had a lot of free time. I mean, and that's, getting into something I was talking about in part 1 is that, that's really what's materializing this now. Is that I have so much free time, because since I left Bose, and that's a whole nother episode right there.
Well, dude, we created. You created this in your head, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How are you gonna let that wane or die without
exactly
fulfilling it?
Yeah, and so since leaving Bose, I've had free time, and like I said, that's another episode. But I've had a lot of free time, and it's just like, you know what, it's time to get this done. But speaking of done, I think we are done here. We're right around the 30-minute mark, so I think it's good place to end it.
Yep.
Thank you guys for listening. Like, subscribe, wherever we are. Again, hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed talking.
And he did enjoy talking.
I did. Ronaldo, you tried your best to get into it in the beginning. And we'll in the next episode, part 3, I guess we'll call it. Of the inaugural broadcast, we'll get into a little bit more of Ronaldo's side.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about that. Yeah,
I'll get in there.
Right. So, thank you guys for listening. Ronaldo,
hey,
give us a life nugget.
No life nugget.
No life nugget today.
No.
We already got one earlier in the show.
Yeah.
The life nugget.
It's limited.
The life nugget for today is that there is no life nugget. Sometimes there are no life nuggets in life.
You just gotta make up your own damn mind.
That's right.